Welcome everybody to my live stream here on Twitch and lichess.org. Sparkle Horse on lichess. We are Sladgie. That's the channel on Twitch. Temporary beard in effect. For myself, not the panda. This is our summer friend, Macro Panda. I want to introduce our new moderator to the channel, at least for the next couple of months, while I'm streaming from USA time. Mr. Coffee, one of our supporters since a long time and subscribers, has agreed to be a moderator in the channel. So I'd like to thank him. Ooh, I need my ice pack. Suddenly started getting humid again. We had a little bit of rain here, Mr. Coffee, and didn't help too much. Humidity still kicking pretty hard. Okay, guys, today's Fast Friday, 5+3. That's what I usually do. We're doing 5+3 challenges amongst all the viewers, those who have 100 games or more. I have not played a warm-up game. Let's grab a warm-up victim while we're waiting. We're waiting for the regulars to show up. I only saw Mr. Coffee. It's like nobody knows I'm streaming or something. It's weird. There was a time when I was doing Friday earlier, as of a few weeks ago, so maybe some people are still... Fuchsia's here. Alright, lobby. Grab a victim. Something casual, please. 5+2. He's 1,000. It's a little low. Discriminating on this poor 1,000 player. I want casual. Turtle chess. Casual 3+6, 1,800. 3+6? What kind of time control is that? Alright, 3+6. Whatever. 3+6. It's a little like 5+3, just inverted. I'm challenging people to 5+3. This is just a warm-up game while we wait for my followers to form en masse. You can limit the list to casual, right? Thank you, Fuchsia. Very instructive. Very instructive. Game aborted. He's not down with playing someone higher rated. Don't you love that? Alright, then. We can modify this. As pointed out by Fuchsia. Oh, it looks so much more tempting now. 3 zeros. Oh, 3-2. Let's play this guy 1,500. All right, dude. Please don't chicken out. No, he did not chicken. Do not talk is his name. You're trying to sneak in the E5 on me there. Do not talk. I'm talking, and that's my job. So take that. Little does he know that all I'm doing is talking, constantly, incessantly talking while he plays. Greetings from Warnocky. And guys, feel free to challenge me. That's why we're here. Bring it. Balanced development, I call it. When we develop the queenside pieces and the kingside pieces in the same sort of speed. With the same sort of speed. Do not talk. This is increment, sir. 3+2. I've got to keep in mind that it's +2, not +3. Which calls for a slight modification in my strategy. Arsenal fan is here. He won't be shy to challenge. Cheers, Arsenal. Have a pint on me. Bishop back to E7. An inconsistent decision. Decisions. Now, let's think for a second. Alright, not too long. Not a lot of choices there. Man, if he takes on E5, I reluctantly take the exchange on A8. Although I do have to watch my white squares. Everything is awesome, Warnocky. I will finish my game with Son of Kaisha and then challenge Sladgie. Jim and I, Fuchsia. Jim and I were looking at a game between two cheaters today. That's my favorite, though, when I beat a cheater who... I don't know why I'm saying this, because it's not really exactly what you're talking about, but the king and I. When you beat the cheater anyway, but that's funny, two cheaters against each other. That happens a lot in these hourly tournaments, I've found. Droppage of material. Dude, I'm having hallucination. Nice. Wow, I just thought I had an open file. I'm like, rook takes d7. That's why we play warm-up game, kids. 93 perfect moves. One seems to have the slower computer. It's usually the incompetent operator that decides the game, I found. But do you think they're advanced enough to have auto input sort of thing going on? I think most cheaters are kind of incompetent manual cheaters, where they just, they're not really professional about it, and then you beat them on time from a lost position. That's my favorite, reporting people with games that they lost, reporting people for cheating in games they actually lost because of incompetent computer management. But yeah, 93 moves. I love it when people, and then the other ones are the ones that are they've won 47 games in a row, and I'm looking down the list, and hasn't anybody else noticed this? I'm sure if they were reported, it wouldn't be long before lichess would confirm it and turn them in. After 47 games in a row, you're just why didn't someone go to the trouble of reporting this person for being a cheater? 1300 Blitz, 2200 classical. Yes, that's kind of classic. That's the poor operator. He can't handle inputting Blitz games, but he's killer with the classical. I don't know. I don't like this guy's do not talk. It's not polite. Not polite, dude. Do not listen. He's a fighter. It's like reeling in a bluefish. Healthy. He's even attacking with this move, but this doubly defended. Look at that spicy move. Coming at me with the h5. He's resourceful. That's more material. Now I'm up a full rook. You didn't see that. How do we put him away now? F7 overload. A little bit of rook c8. King h8. I don't know about that. He's getting kind of short of moves. No, that's a good move though. King h8. Excuse me. Yep. There goes the h file. There goes the h file. Fatal blow. His own opening of the h file. What about queen f5? Anyone? Queen f5 might work. You can make that work. Juicebox Wizard. Oh, Juicebox Wizard. Okay. You know what? You just reminded me of something on my Facebook this morning. So I was in Hungarian and I didn't understand everything because my Hungarian's okay, but I don't understand all the words. So I saw this article on my Facebook about. I saw Browse's picture. Oh man, this guy's irritating. Multiple rematches. So that's interesting. I didn't know about it. I saw his picture. I wondered what it was. I thought he died or something. I couldn't read everything. my written Hungarian's not that good. So that explains why he was on my Facebook this morning. I played him in the Canary Islands. It was a draw. We had a game in a Catalan. You're not guilty until proven innocent. Or how does it work? He signed a written statement admitting to using a cell phone in a FIDE tournament. Oh, shit. They got him to sign a written statement? Why would he do that? Why would he even do that? I mean, what's his incentive for signing this written statement? He should have consulted his lawyer first, I think. Where was his tournament, by the way? Yes. Cheating is disgusting. But I don't know, I would never sign a written statement of any kind, like whether I was guilty or not, until I consulted my legal counsel, I think. I think he was pressured. It's a good thing he wasn't like in China or like someplace where they don't respect justice, like maybe the Philippines. How is it out there in Cambodia? Will they pressure you to make a signed confession, Juicebox? If you did it in Cambodia? Man, that was like, I don't know. I have to read the article before I comment any further. So they may have actually had a sting operation. And maybe the incentive is it's plausible he didn't cheat but just broke the rules. Like he carried his cell phone into the bathroom, like sort of thing. Oh, I get it. He signed a written statement admitting to using a cell phone in a FIDE tournament. I get it. Okay, so he didn't admit to using the cell phone to make chess moves. He just admitted to using the cell phone. That's different. So we have to really get all the details here before we'll comment any further. Okay, guys. Pide, Vampire. And Vampire, do you have 100 games? Vampire's from Niger. An Arsenal fan. Vampire doesn't have enough games, so we'll have to cancel that. But Pide is cool. Pide beat me 1.5 out of the last 2. I just saw his picture on my Facebook. Someone had posted it. One of my Hungarian, I think Kalai, Grandmaster Kalai Gabor. I'm not sure, actually. Someone posted an article about it, but I woke up and it was like right on my phone when I woke up, and I meant to look into it and then I forgot about it. So thanks for reminding me. All right. So quickly, off to the races here. It's always Pi Day on Friday. Pi Day on Friday. Yeah, I'm curious where the tournament was. Elvis lost to Christensen and appeared in 14 moves. When was this? That's not recently, obviously. I never learned Hungarian. I still can't read the whole article that I was talking about, but I speak it enough to get by. I live in Hungary when I'm not living here. I'm just here temporarily. I'm not a U.S. resident. I'm a Hungarian resident, but I'm in the United States. Yeah, I just picked it up there. I had to. I mean, I've been there for 15 years. When you're there for 15 years, you're kind of forced. I'm not very good, though. I'm not super fluent. I'm decent. I have a minimum amount of communication. But it's a very difficult language to learn, needlessly. I like it. I get that question a lot. Why do you live in Hungary? Usually I ban those people from the stream. But something more specific, like why do I learn Hungarian? I'm just kidding. That's cool. It's a reasonable question. Especially if you didn't know I lived in Hungary. It's particularly reasonable. It's okay to be inquisitive. All right, knight e5. Mostly Bullet from Pi Day. This is all theory. This is a game I had with International Master, who I can't remember. Sorry, dude. Team Championship. Hungarian First Division Team Championship 2 years ago. Draw, of course. Man, it's a boring variation. But G6 is different. I have not encountered that previously. Interesting. G6, why not? So C5. C5 or CD or Knight A4. G6 is very standard with Bishop on E6. It's a form of Slav. If you do one, you know, the other one kind of fits in nicely. There are also variations of the Slav where black takes on C4 and plays Bishop E6 and then G6. If you put a bishop on E6, it's kind of like G6 is the only option for developing your king side, more or less. So next trick, white just has like a tiny endgame pull. Shit, I just dropped a pawn. Can't believe it. That was so dumb. I didn't really drop it, I was just sort of bluffing, but it's not clear that this works. So I thought he should probably bite the bullet and just take. Because takes 96, fe6, I wanted to play bishop c4, but b5 wins a piece. So it's not... It feels like I just sort of bluffed him out of that. I think it was actually okay for black. I mean, nevertheless, black's position might be okay anyway. But this is definitely okay for me too. Was there something wrong with allowing knight takes e5 for black? Yeah, my pawn structure gets shredded. And that's not always a bad thing, though. So I would consider it. Normally, if they play knight e5, de5, it has implications for the health of your pawn centrum. Very fine position here. E5 is strong. Yeah, it would shut down his B. But I think we're just cruising here. Cruising for bruising. I was lucky with that bluff earlier. Now this bishop is really bad. He's basically lost. Clear pawn down with the bishop stuck on g6 against an e4, f3, g2. That's a bad Slav situation. Man, but I mean, the critical question was, when I went knight f4, could he have played d takes c, allowed knight takes e6? He's up 2 pawns in that position. Wait. Well, his king's not castled, because if he was castled, it wouldn't have been a problem. I would have bishop takes e6 check. But I can't play bishop c4 if he's not castled. 5 minutes feels like 30. It does, Warnaki. Especially been playing a lot of like bullet chess. Guys, I want to remind everyone, I asked Mr. Coffee and he agreed to be a mod in the channel. So everybody say hello to our new moderator, MC. The moderator and MC for the channel, Mr. Coffee. Oh, he sacks a piece. Oh, gosh. Okay. Jolly good, then. I don't know what to do. Five plus 3 is not a fast time control, you know, in the grand scheme of things, but it's the fastest that I'm playing on the stream. Jim donated 100 to our new mod, in honor of our new mod, should I say. Mr. Coffee known to everybody, hopefully. Been a very positive contributor to the stream. For sure. Always. He's a hardcore bullet player. What? You're asking Mr. Coffee if he plays the Dutch? I'm in the bullet mode. Yeah, right. I don't have a bullet mode. Jim reached 1,000 bits for this week. Congratulations to him for being the bit leader. Dragon BC 500, Mr. Merle Dixon, who was absent for a couple of streams. I'm getting a little worried. It's over now. All right. So before we leave the game, I just want to see this where I played like, first of all, I want to see his move G6. I normally don't take time to analyze the games, but so G6 is a move. It's actually the best move according to Stockfish. It's interesting because the theory is widely known to be knight BD7. And G6 is actually the preferred move of Stockfish. Featuring a couple of recent games. And some not so recent games. I'm playing like Federico Perez Ponza. And Kovacevic. Alright, so this is all known. Knight d3 is a novelty. It's apparently dubious because of the variation in question. The problem is after knight d7, white doesn't have much. Almost nothing. I mean, Kovacevic beat this like ancient Ukrainian IM, Kernizhitsky, who's like, he's still around 2300, but he looks like he's 93. I mean, it's unbelievable. It's the oldest looking international master in the world. Perez Ponza Letal was a draw. Pronounced Letal wrong again. Anyways, so the point is, right, I try a new move, you know, immediately he has this. I play knight f4, and then, you know, he just takes the pawn. And it's all a lie, because I forgot that he has b5 if bishop c4. I mean, there's some compensation here. I guess I'm threatening bishop c4 now. But he just goes b5 anyway. There, take that. That even refutes rook a3. It's not clear. You know, I have enough compensation. So, anyway, we learned something. Arsenal fan is up next. Tie move after that. Okay, so knight d3 was too ambitious, unfortunately, for our lame opening system to justify. You're welcome for the game. So now we get Marazzi. Welcome to Marazziville. Arsenal fan has faced this once before. Not necessarily though. I've played have I played this position for black? Maybe. Not this exact position. I'm going to keep Arsenal fan on his toes here. Something I can take on c5. Essentially a form of King's Indian now. Alright, so this is like a Benoni sort of tempo up for white. I'll take it. Alright, I'm going to go bishop d3. So what happens? I give the tempo back and we transpose. We transpose to theory? Or am I still a tempo up? Because he had to play knight c6 and then knight back to b8. Did you lose 2 moves? Or just 1? I'm confused. The reverse Benko. What do you mean reverse Benko? It's like, is a Benko. It's the real deal. I do play the reverse Benko sometimes with white. Maybe queen d2? Queen d2 b5. Let's not mess around with that central pawn. Keep her protected, Eleanor. Honor of my aunt. And the Beatles. We'll name all pawns after ladies. Rarely do you see Queen f8 played in King's India and Benoni's. Alright. Well, for lack of a better plan, we'll just grab some space here. Space race. Arsenal fan suddenly started playing the Benoni recently. It's interesting. 95, bishop e5, f4. Guess. Interesting. We had another game similar to this. He took with a rook instead. Not sure what that really means. I mean, the Benoni's all about these potential pawn advances, or not. Last time we played, I tried to do like bishop takes h5 and f5 in almost identical situation. I just can't resist. Now what, though? e5. Bishop f2. Arsenal's like a different person since they started playing the Benoni. This is identical to the other game we had. I thought he might dare to take on c3, actually. I've got one more challenge from Thai Move, which is cool, because he's played in my simuls. Who's Siren? Mornaki. I don't really enjoy watching people like hang pieces, personally, but I guess it's entertaining sometimes. Queen g7, what a move. Alright, so now what do? I take this pawn. Wow. Jim does. Life is too short for bad chess. Was this how I lost to Arsenal last time? He outplayed me like a genius in the exact same endgame. I'm afraid of Arsenal fan. He's rated 1880, and I'm actually afraid of him. He's 1700 in Bullet, 1800 in Blitz, and I'm scared here for my life. Now he decides to take. He's gonna have to take that pawn. Not that pawn. You weren't supposed to take that pawn. You're supposed to take a different pawn. Obviously. Totally unexpected. Thought he would want the central pawn. Wow. Man. I think that was dangerous. But I don't understand where this Siren guy came from. He just sort of appeared out of nowhere. Or he's just really good at bullet chess. I think I saw him at a tournament, but he was only like 2,500 or something. He's kind of like a Indian version of what's his name? The guy who plays a lot of bullet on lichess. Yeah, but I mean, I don't do bullet chess, Warnaki. It's like against everything that I promote. Well, some people like my stream are into bullet chess, like Jim. I think you should give it up, but Jim can make the conversion between bullet and standard, you know, which is cool. Most people can't do that. Wow, Piety just subscribed. That's awesome. I don't know if he's ever subscribed before. We're missing some regulars here today. Asterbait is not on the stream. And Bob is not on the stream. Spectacular Camel, are you out there? Nefedov, are you out there? Nefedov's mad I called him Nefedog. HTFP is here. You don't play any more serious games? If I was playing with the board, not even for fun. What are you saying? I mean, you mean you wouldn't play bullet if you were playing over the board chess? You would. Arsenal blundered. When I play Queen H4, he needs to play F6 now. Possible he's clearly worse anyway, but I'm not so sure. I mean, the material is what, equal? His king's a little more dodgy than mine. I'm still not winning. Queen has been sacrificed. Her Majesty. All right, Arsenal. I think you had a good game. What if you play Queen H4? Queen H4. And now F6. No, apparently it's not good enough. He's still in deep trouble. So, all right, let's say that doesn't work. I thought this worked. I still don't think it's that easy for white. I'm going to have to find some awesome sequence according to the computer. I guess I could force him off this diagonal. Okay, maybe that's not that hard. So I guess his last move surprised me, though. Take, rook takes e4. Bishop d4 check. I missed it myself, actually. I guess your plan was to take on e4, and then you saw this, probably. I didn't see it. I didn't even realize. I just thought, okay, well, at least I'm at least equal here. I was going to play something like, I don't know, bishop g5, but that's not enough. Hopefully I would have found it. So Jim, why are you retired from tournament games? Just life? Tie move. Okay, tie move 5+3. Well, it's not that easy of a position for white to play. Yeah. A lot of tile games, Arsenal fan, were probably like -3 in favor of his opponent, you know, so don't worry about that. The computer evaluation isn't the only factor in life, I guess. French. Yeah, but I mean, there's a certain level of complexity that you just hope the opponent, you know, doesn't grasp. I guess if the position is complicated enough, yeah, it's hard to judge that. I try to play overtly correct chess, as you guys know. Fishrat Cow 100+10. Usurping the third place of Merle Dixon with 101. Jim's up to 1,000 in the green zone. Dragon BC, Fishrat Cow. Guys, again, thanks to Mr. Coffee for becoming a mod in the channel. Infinite Flash Chess not really here very often. So we asked Mr. Coffee to help, and that's a super big help. I had a very disappointing game when I was at Nilsa's age and just quit. Oh man, that's devastating. But how many games did you play, Jim, in tournaments? A good choice. Soltigo, no, he doesn't. Yeah, he's doing his own stuff. I went to his stream a while back, and I was even a subscriber on his stream, but I almost never have time to do. I can't watch other people's streams. I barely have time to do my own stream. I have a second job as an executor, so once that wraps up by the fall, hopefully, I can get back to doing more chess related stuff. 5-year club and won and only in that open. Yeah, man. Just touch the surface of tournament play, really. You shouldn't have taken it so hard, but okay, maybe you made the right choice for you not to play tournament chess. I don't regret, you know, the fact that I played 2,500. I'm just approximating. I don't know. I'm definitely in over 2,000 tournament games. I don't know how many I've played. Not a lot lately, though. Not a lot in the last 10 years at all. I've probably played like 100 games in the last 8 years at most. But in my most active times, I was playing like 100 games a year. So time move played c takes d. I think this move is a little bit of a concession. It's not bad, but the theory is mostly b5 here. I'm also not sure for white, like whether it's better to play bishop e2 or queen d2. This is an unusual move, bishop b4. Presumably the threat is like knight c5 if I just ignore it. Fishback what do you mean by that? Like, get in one last tournament before I die? I don't understand the context. Hopefully I'll get in one more last tournament before I cash in my chips. Maybe a few. I'm not that old, you know, I'm 39, as I say. Um, I'd like to actually go back to playing regularly, you know, at least a couple tournaments a year. Um, it's not about like anything political. I just live in Hungary because it's more affordable, and I have a better standard of living there than in the United States. Among other things, my family is Hungarian. But I'm not leaving the United States forever. A3, bishop A5. What do we got? Knight C5 still on the move? No. All right, now we can just ignore that threat. Anita doing a Mr. Coffee. Driving and listening. Oh yeah, I mean, you should never quit at something you love. But it sounds like Nils is like kind of hyper competitive, which I mean a lot of people are who are attracted to a game like chess. But you gotta be willing to suck it up. I mean, for me, like the healing process when I lose a bad game is like just going out and playing again and winning another game, even if it's just a blitz game. It feels so much better. Let's say I lose a really bad tournament game. Just go online and like play a couple blitz games. Just winning one blitz game, you know, get a little bit of that confidence back. One of my biggest problems was not only in chess but in poker too. The fact that my confidence is kind of fragile. I can have a great result, and then like the next day, maybe I like win one huge tournament or do really well, and the next day I have like a bad tournament. I become kind of depressed. I mean, I never went as far as like quitting the game, but I would become kind of depressed over it, you know. But you feel better if you play just even something like a blitz game, kind of get a little bit of confidence back. All right, what am I doing here? This looks like a good position for white. My bowling injury. I don't know. It feels better. I pull a muscle in my neck. I don't know, you know, if it's simply a case of a pulled muscle or maybe some other complication like a pinched nerve. I mean, I really don't know. It was definitely a pulled muscle though. At least this part was. That's better. I still have some neck issues, but I feel better, Mr. Coffee. I feel a lot better after 2 days. I can like go to bed and lay down without like being excruciating pain. The first night after I pulled the muscle in my neck, I literally like couldn't find a position where it didn't hurt. It was wonderful, but I'm feeling much better now. Thank you for asking. All right, getting hot in here. I need the ice pack. Yeah, I go bowling like maybe with my family like twice a year, and I used to like to bowl when I was a little kid, and I did it a lot. I would go like almost every week, sometimes in the summer especially. But lately, in the last couple of years, I would bowl maybe like twice a year. So I don't make these motions that I would do, and I just went into the motion of bowling like without even like stretching my arm at all or doing anything. Like the first ball that I bowled, I just like pulled this muscle in my neck, and it was just excruciating. But I still like I think I got a spare on that frame, like the first frame, like the neck pull ball, like I knocked down like all but one, and then I made even in excruciating pain, I still made a spare, and I managed to score like a 144, which is kind of average for me. That's my bowling injury. But I was proud of myself for just, you know, pulling through it. When we used to play baseball when I was a kid, I remember the coach was always like, shake it off to little kids who would like get hit by the ball. And it's just so like, I don't know. Kid would be crying, shake it off. It's not that easy to shake it off. But I wasn't gonna quit, you know. I'm not a quitter. One thing I cannot be accused of is being a quitter. So Nimzovician / Steinitz type position. Control of d4. Not entirely Nizovichian. Nizovich probably would have like traded on f6 and tried to use the e5 square. Here he's got to take with the king now, which is definitely awkward. I don't like this exchange for him, bishop b6, because he just effectively just traded his good bishop for my bad bishop. I think he's in trouble here. Pretty serious. Queen f2. Not enough. The back rank combined with threats of like bishop h5. Bishop h5. Close. Bishop h5 is close, but and I'm going to run out of time. Does it even do anything, bishop h5? Let's just draw him out of position with this, first of all. Maybe that's just better. Okay. Hopefully we have something here. There are possible sacrifices liberating that passed e-pawn. But I don't see it quite materializing yet. I didn't really want to trade queens. We've got nasty back rank threats. Actually, this might just be curtains for black. He never managed to develop the queen side. Kind of a classic bad French. But that doesn't mean that he couldn't have put up resistance. I think bishop b6 was the last straw. Oh, Acerbate is here. What's up? Alright, this is probably a sensible move, actually. Hundreds of point rating swing. Nothing better than this, apparently. Alright, thank you for the game. Okay, what happened? I had a challenge a minute ago and it like disappeared. Did I have another challenge a minute ago that disappeared? Thanks everybody for watching. Everyone's welcome to play, not just subscribers. I'm taking challenges at 5+3 casual only. Everyone's welcome to play. Don't be shy for 1,000. Anyone from 1,000 to 2,400 is welcome to play. If not, I have to go to the lobby and find another victim. Ancient Taffy. You do have to have 100 games. Alright, this is cool. Dragon B and Ancient Taffy. Dragon B just stole Ancient Taffy's place. Dude, he just like pushed Ancient Taffy out of line. Dragon B, how did you do that? Just like push them out of line. Alright. We'll take Dragon B. He pushed him out of line. But Ancient Taffy, hang in there. Don't leave. That was kind of rude, Dragon B. Is it better to repeat challenge or find a victim? Yeah, that's fine. I don't mind doing a repeat challenge. Find a victim. I love this. Alright, a little Scandinavian. Let's mix it up. Mix it up, play something I don't play much. I never played the queen takes d5. When this became trendy, like, more than 10 years ago, I tried to play it. I think I lost one game to Christian Sabo, and then like I just kind of gave it up. Lose a game to a super talented junior and just quit, basically. That's a little bit too much. But I think the opening itself became overly covered. There were a lot of articles about it. It was getting played by a lot of strong players. Overly trendy. I'm not really down with the Queen D8 Scandinavian. Sorry. That seems sort of stupid to me. I'd rather just play the Caro-Kann. I know there's guys who like wrote books on the Queen back to D8 Scandinavian. Okay, so A4. I wonder, I mean, is A5 a threat? Then I'll play B5. I do have to worry about my development. Thanks, guys, for supporting the stream. Jim, Dragon BC, Fishrat Cow. We had also Merle Dixon, Warnaki. Warnaki today. I don't think did I even thank him? I don't remember. Pide subscribed. Pide, if you want to re-challenge me, we don't have any other challengers. Arsenal fan and Pide, we lost that Ancient Taffy. They're like, screw that, Dragon B pushed me out of line. Well, Hyper Archaic said, hi William, I love an old video you made for chesslecture.com about hypermodern chess. You were the one who first introduced me to all of it. You showed me the nice game between Reti and Capablanca. Still one of my favorite chess videos. That's awesome. Hyper Archaic. I still produce chess videos for chesslecture.com, but I'm not like directly involved with the company the way I was in the old days. But we're still plugging away and making videos over there. This looks like a good move, actually, Bishop C4. Okay, he stopped B5. So, Pide probably re-challenged, and we got Ancient Taffy back in Arsenal. So we got two double challenges and Ancient Taffy. Ancient Taffy would be next. Ancient Taffy must have internet like Marwa, where they get disconnected on and off. So if D5, knight B6. Oftentimes I get in trouble when I try to play C5 too early in such positions. But I think it's principled. You've got to be very careful about this. Got to be very careful about this. Like, we can get annihilated because the king is safe and our king is still in the center if it opens up too quickly. With D5 could be a crushing move, but I don't see what he does after knight B6 with the double attack on C4 and D5. I think I'm just going to pick that up. So, nevertheless, it could be tricky. C5's almost never bad. Astrobate, what happened? You overslept? Your afternoon nap? There's no excuse now that I'm doing the stream like the same time 5 days a week. You can't say, oh, I thought it was at 12:30. Mr. Coffee's our new mod. We had a donation for Mr. Coffee already from Jim. Dragon B just sacrificed a piece. Alright, if queen takes queen, he has pawn takes f7 check, which is slightly annoying. So basically I have to seriously consider knight takes c4. And then pawn takes f7 check, king takes f7 check. When my king is a little bit sketchy out there. If queen takes d1, pawn takes f7 check, king e7. Rook takes d1, I presume, and then knight takes c4. Then his f7 is hanging. He could protect it with knight to g5. And that gets a little freaky. There's one or the other. I mean, I'm not... And I'm going to take this piece, but knight takes c4. Not trading queens. Pawn takes f7 check. King f7. I guess I'll do it that way. I mean, I get the pawn with the king on f7, and I get the king back on g8 or something like that. So we'll take our chances with this. You joined the 4NCL team. Cool. I don't know. What's up with Nefedov? He was online earlier, but must be on the... Oh, he must be at home. Has anybody seen Nefedov? Asterbait should challenge. He doesn't like Blitz, though. Alright, Asterbait, wait till Monday, and you can play your 100th game. Arsenal, I'm surprised you haven't, you know, got like a FIDE already from some kind of Congress or something. A lot of tournaments, I would assume, are rated both BCF and FIDE. I mean ECF, excuse me. I'm old school. They used to call it the BCF. It's politically out the window now. The British Chess Federation. Stuck asked the highly sensitive question, are you a heavy drinker? That depends on how you define heavy drinking, Mr. Stuck. I'm officially afraid now. Try not to be a heavy drinker. We just have the same symptoms. Symptoms. Wait. I don't have any symptoms except for the stiff neck from the bowling injury. But I don't think that was related to drinking. I'm getting a little worried about this, like being really, really, really dangerous. So it looks like I'm going to have to play knight a5. Yay! That's a great, safe place to be. This is definitely more dangerous than a Cochrane gambit. Oh man, I'm frightened. Not what I had in mind. That move might be a little too routine, Rookie 1. I'm thinking. Bishop g4, knight g5 check, king g6. Oh, that looks like a safe place to go. Once I get out there, I may never come back. Bishop g4 doesn't work, knight e5 check. Alright, I am terrified officially now. Bishop f5, let's try that. Whew, Dragon B, bringing it. I don't know what my symptoms are, but I do frequently drink beer on the stream. Just usually one. I'm pretty good at keeping it under control. But throughout my life, I have imbibed, during periods of my life, I've imbibed a little bit too much from time to time. Right. Well, the problem with the FIDE rated tournaments is like that they charge this massive fee from the National Chess Federation and or organizers of said tournaments. So it's not like people don't want the tournaments to be FIDE rated. It's like a pretty serious fee. I don't know, $50 to have a tournament. I'm not sure exactly how much it is. I think the issue is simply money. Like, as is the case with most things in the world. Knight a2, what is that? What just happened, guys? Stuck just played knight a2. Mr. Coffee said, yeah, it's like $65 to turn them to be rated. I mean, that's the point where we just like, you know, bye-bye. I think the U.S. Chess Federation should just bail on FIDE. It's just exorbitant. That's ridiculous. All right, so Dragon B, it was a great idea, and then you played Knight A2. Actually, Rook E1 also doesn't look like the critical move. I think here, you know, okay, the engine said I could have played King G8. I was afraid to play H6 because of Knight E5 check and Knight G6, which is slightly inconvenient. This was a cool idea, though. You know, again, I'm proud of myself here because maybe I played the only move. I think a lot of people would have played Knight B6 because it looks like it's a little closer to the center. But Knight A5 was the only move for black, and it was ugly, and I did it, you know, and I maintained an advantage. Okay. So I've got challenges from I wanted to play that guy. Let's wait a second if that player comes back. Are you still here? Are you still here? It had a weird name. Do you guys remember? The player who Dragon BC pushed out of line. We'll give them like a minute to come back because their internet kept dropping out. We've got a challenge. Oh, there it is, Ancient Taffy. We've got a challenge from International Master Bobula. I don't know if I've ever played him. I just didn't mean to do that. I just meant to like accept her challenge. Whoops. All right, can I accept her challenge? I am challenge. Hello. Yeah, we'll take the I am challenge. Cool. We never played. All right, we'll see if this opponent gets moving though. They actually challenged me before the last opponent, so I technically should have played them first. I've got 2 repeat challengers, and then I am Bobula, and Negro Modelo, and another guy. So I'm gonna tell the repeat challengers to hold off, so I can play the new guys, and then I'll take them. Hold off. I got a message. Hate mail. What am I doing? I'm playing chess, right? Sorry. I only challenged 5+3 casual. Did everybody challenge me to casual? Yeah, cool. Alright. This is my first time playing this opponent. I'm not that warmed up. I haven't been playing much Blitz, honestly, just on the stream. Because I'm in the process of trying to sell a house. It's like kind of a big deal. I have to clean out an entire house and sell it. And it's this massive, massive project that's absorbing my life. I can't do anything but do my stream, teach a few lessons, and then the house. So I'd like to play more, but I haven't had any chance to even follow the chess news or play much off stream. I'm a little bit out of practice, honestly. So, right, this is what we see every day. Like knight takes c6. Actually, I mean, this is a very, very typical move that's a mistake. In most cases, 9 out of 10 cases, knight takes c6 is a bad move for white in a Sicilian because it brings this pawn toward the center that increases black's central control. And I think the only way for white to take advantage of this would be to play like e5, knight d5, you know, and try to do like bishop d5, cd5, queen d5, and win a pawn. But in that case, usually black gets some compensation. Here he's in, or she, I don't know, Ancient Taffy could be a he or a she, could be in trouble because of knight g4 and e5. I'm not that sure. My first inclination is to play knight g4, but actually Andrew Soltis, great book. I talk about this all the time. Confessions of a Grandmaster. He wrote a lot of books, some of them good, some of them not so good. But this book is just annotated games, you know, that he played and stories. And he tells a story about Arthur Bisguyer, a long-time American grandmaster. And he said that he claimed that he almost always played the first move he looked at. Even when he saw the move, you know, and he still thought for like 10 minutes, he said he almost always played the first move that he looked at. And my intuition is like, you know, so these certain players like are all intuition. My intuition is knight g4, but in bishop d4, what do we do? Do we play e5? Can we calculate the force variation like e5, f takes e5, d takes e5, then bishop c5? Carlsen is intuitive. Well, the guy who can play bullet like that, I mean, in bullet you practically have to be intuitive. There's really no time to calculate, right? Now, white had to play bishop d4. I was interested, though. I mean, there's some interesting lines, like e5, bishop d4, e5, pawn takes pawn, queen h4. That seems to do nothing. I would actually take bishop d4, queen d4, queen b6, and go into an ending where white is facing the threat of queen takes b2 and queen takes d4, and my knight has access to the e3 square. So even that would probably be good for black. But this is just, I guess I just win the exchange here without really any question. In the words of Larry Christensen, if you see a good move, look for a better one. I'm sure he was the first one to say that. Larry's really into deep expressions. John Fedorovich said, think a lot, think about all you got. That was his advice. American grandmasters and their extremely detailed, you know, thought processes. All right, we're just going to take this exchange and hope that nothing bad happens. Think a lot, think about all you got. That was actually a song from the 70s, apparently, that only like somebody who's like 60 years old now would remember. Lyrics in a song from the 70s. You can't think, have a stiff drink. I say no brain, no pain. You know when you're tired and your brain is just numb? Sometimes it's from alcohol, but sometimes you're just tired, you know? It's the same thing. I mean, sleep deprivation has the same effect as being drunk, essentially. Yeah, sometimes you're just too tired to play, and you know you shouldn't play, and you just play like crap. So, Ancient Taffy made one mistake with knight c6, made a second mistake losing the exchange, and that makes a third mistake, which is not a calculation mistake, but a practical mistake. If you lose material, you should not trade pieces. This is very important at every level. Trading pieces reduces the chance the opponent will make a dumb mistake, essentially. Make the position less complicated, and you reduce your chances of sort of lucky win. Shake the tree here. That bishop, for me, I mean, this piece, honestly, in the dragon, when people play knight takes c6, this exact structure, honestly, that piece drives me crazy. I never know what to do with it. But I thought we'll chase him away from c4 and then play f5. And now we're good to go. Everybody's happy. All the pieces are working. Okay. I have 1,000 points on my opponent. It's fun to beat people who are 1,000 points lower. Now I'm going to have to take on strong players. 2,000, 1,900, 2,100, 2,100 IM. You know, he's probably stronger than that. All right, let's see. Defend, though. White is defending this. I don't really want to just like win a pawn. I can take on e4, take on c3, and take on f4. I guess a pawn is a pawn, though. There's also like rook b4. Bishop d5. Triplet slam. Mate with the two bishops in the middle of the board. In honor of the late great Emery Tate. Bishop d5. I mean, it is a technical win, probably. Should I take on c3 first and then play bishop d5? Should I play like rook b4? Should I play bishop d5 immediately? There's many ways to skin the proverbial cat, right? I hope I didn't miscalculate here. Some exchange sacrifice or something. Wernicke's obsessed with a5. I didn't tell you guys. I had an accident the other night. I was besieged by mosquitoes. My body is covered in like 60 mosquito bites. It's really a good time. Anyone else had that experience this summer? I usually avoid them like the plague, but I went outside my house and it was right about dark, and I usually like don't go outside without like bug spray or something. But I didn't think about it, and I met my neighbors from next door who were like ghosts, and they lived somewhere else, and I needed to talk to them, and I hadn't seen them or ever met them in like 20 years. And so I met these people. We stood there like talking in the mosquito cloud for like 25 minutes while these mosquitoes are like eating us. So in addition to my bowling injury, I have this like devastating, I'm just a mosquito victim. It's horrible. I'm delicious. What can I say? Rook f2. I am a mosquito favorite. Alright, it's over. It is officially over. You once sat with a neighbor in the garden and she was covered with mosquitoes. And not a single one on me. Not tasty enough. Maybe after you drink a few martinis, you get that sort of alcohol in the blood going on and they don't like it. It's almost like a built-in bug spray. I had a beer and a glass of wine, though. It didn't seem to have any effect. I don't know about that theory. I'm just making up theories. You wouldn't think that bugs would like the taste of alcohol. But that's just a wild guess. Alright, we're rolling. Rolling. Some animals actually do. That's interesting. Don't report Stuk to PETA. People for the ethical treatment of animals. He gets his animals drunk. I didn't see it here. I didn't read that. My mom donated money to animal charities and stuff, and we would constantly get the stuff in the mail about every kind of animal protection charity. Some of them are pretty aggressive. I don't think that giving alcohol to the animals would go over well. Bears probably get drunk on rotten berries. I imagine bears are probably the number one. That's why Russians like them so much. The number one alcohol drinking animal. Bears like berry vodka. But anyway, we're just sort of being silly here while we're nailing this down. Okay, Ancient Taffy is done. They just don't know it yet. Thank you for the game. Let's go for mate. The object is mate. Still not getting there very fast. I don't think I got the fastest possible mate going on. Alright. Rook takes or queen takes? Okay. Now, I'm gonna put a hold on your credit card. I'm gonna put a hold on Paide and Arsenal Fan and play Negro Modelo and Matt Babula, because those guys are new to today's stream. Plus, Babula is like a bonus because he's an IM, which is cool. So Negro Modelo, who's a regular, will take first, and then Babula next. And you guys will wait. It's fair. I'm fair. I'm a fair guy. I got really angry at my neighbors yesterday for like walking their dogs on my lawn. This lady was really obnoxious. I think I'm a fair person though. I pride myself on being fair, you know. I'm in the United States. I'm here since May, and I will be here until the fall. But I intend to move back to Hungary at some point once my business is complete. All right, bishop d3. We have a good mod now, Mr. Coffee. He's awesome. You guys were probably talking about him being fair. I just think everything's about me. I didn't know what to do, so I chickened out and played the black side of a Panov. We're transposing to the Panov, I guess, unless he plays something weird like c5 or knight e2. I played knight e2. With the white pieces, I had this position against an Indian grandmaster. What was his name? Okay, this is a weird move, c5. But maybe good. Maybe good. I feel like I've been here before, very recently. Castle. Did I have a game where I went crazy on a recent stream and played like e5 or something? Wasn't that it? I was kind of on tilt, or it was just like the last game of the stream. I did some crazy e5 against someone. You guys remember that? It was unsound. Oh, you know what? It was against a player who doesn't attend our stream anymore. Because he was unhappy. Blobby. Exactly. You remember one of Ian Bobula's games presented on the subscriber stream. And speaking of Blobby, Jim, it's a really strange coincidence that you mentioned that, because that was the weirdest coincidence ever. The person I was just about to say. It was literally against Blobby that I played this game. Blobby's like a Correspondence FM or something? Or how is it? That is a weird coincidence, though. I mean, seriously. We're talking about this guy who's never come up in like the last week once. And within 5 seconds of one another, the same guy, you know, pops up. It's so strange. He just plays bishop g5, very aggro. And there's mosquito bites. When I'm reaching under the table, you guys, I'm like itching like crazy. My legs have like 60 bites on them. Scratching it, it's like terrible. I want to take like an alcohol bath. Man, it's brutal. I'm usually very careful about mosquitoes. I'm a careful player, but this was a huge mistake. You know what happened though? I met these people and we're outside and I haven't ever spoken to them in 25 years, and you're in this conversation, kind of an important conversation, and you're like, you don't want to like leave, like, you know, you try to be like honorable, and it's rude to like leave the conversation. So it's crazy. I just was like, okay, I'll just suck it up and absorb like 80 mosquito bites just to be polite, you know. Terrible mistake. Would you be polite, or would you run away and say, all right, I'm not going to talk to you because I'm getting eaten by mosquitoes? It's a test of character. They were getting eaten too. It was dusk when we started talking, and the mosquitoes weren't so bad at first. It just like exponentially got worse in a period of like 20 minutes. Knight d7 or knight c6? I'll choose the more passive square. I think the c file might be relevant, plus it's protected. If white plays knight b5 instead of bishop g5, I wasn't concerned about knight b5, Arsenal. In which position? Oh, right away? I had totally not considered that, so I wasn't concerned about it. It might be a good move, though. It's a little outside the box. You know, something you wouldn't typically see. Maybe you're right. Very, very likely Mr. Arsenal could be right. This is quite passive for black here. Almost tempted to play bishop b4 again. I mean, it looks ridiculous, but it's probably not that ridiculous. What if I traded bishops, but how? Rook a5. Well, he's not threatening knight b5 now, because I'm just going to snap that pawn on a2. Bonus pawn. I just don't like my queen where it is. We have to play this. Then my bishop's not protected. Ridiculous. If I go rook e8, knight e8, everything loses material. Rook e8 sets up knight b5, knight c7 ideas. Alright, man, I'll play it. Knight e8, knight e6 is a maneuver. It's a maneuver. Because of bishop e7, queen e7, knight d5. But, yeah, he's trying to play knight b5, it looks like. Now I really set myself up for it. Brilliant. I regret everything. Taking away my only square for my knight now. Can't fork my rooks. Look, no rooks to fork. Man, I'm getting like brutalized here. He's got 4 minutes to my 32 seconds just strategically outplaying me. I have the better structure. Who cares? He's got control of the open file. It's more important. Merle Dixon's here. Wow. We're worried, man. We thought that Uber driver had pushed out your personality and you were no longer in existence. Seems like it's been all Uber driver lately and no Merle. All work and no play makes Merle a dull boy. Queen b8. 100 bits. Thank you, sir. I'm going to play, I am Matt Bobola, and we've got time till 8 o'clock, so I should be able to play all those games. Man, 85, look at this. Blunder? It's a blunder. Why would he blunder this? That's a weird blunder. He's just hanging a pawn. What? What? Yes. Oh no, hate that one. Yeah, sorry guys. Alright.
Yes.
There's this one I like. Well, no. Well, yeah. This pawn is better. It's not the no button. There's this one that sounds like Montgomery Burns, which I like. It looks like Negro Modelo just sort of freaked out and started playing for time. I hate that cheerleader one. Cheesy. I like the Mexican gringo sound. And Merle Dixon likes the Montgomery Burns one. I don't know, I'm just randomly putting my pawns on white squares now. Maybe h4, h3. Making my king go to g7. I have no time for sophisticated plans here, only reaction. Witch Hazel. Really? Uh-oh. I was wondering why they sold that. Oh no. Please don't let this be a blunder. I should have just checkmated him on the H-file, right? It was pretty close. It's kind of subtle, like Rook H8. The A-pawn's a Doombringer. I don't want to lose because of the A-pawn. Witch Hazel's from the cartoons, right? I have D4 in emergency. Queen A3, D4. Oh no. Obviously, we shouldn't like point out winning moves for the opponent while we're playing the game. Probably not a great idea. But he didn't see it. Anyway, whatever. All right. We don't have like a delay or anything, like a 30-second delay. I lost on time. I'm winning, you know. I guess I have bishop g5, just like winning. I guess that doesn't work, yeah. It doesn't win by force, but he had a win last move, as Chess Lover pointed out with 98 check. I just flagged. I guess I'm just winning in the final position, but I felt kind of bad about it. I'm sitting there like, Chess Lover's like 98. Okay. Yes, I see it. Now he sees it too. But he didn't. He played instead King G2. And I have a million wins, but I just sort of froze. Anyway. Alright, so Matt Bobola, let's try this guy. I don't think we played. Wow. Okay. I can't remember everybody I've played, you know. It's cool to play another title player, though. He's gonna mute. It's easier to play when you're not listening to the other player. Merle Dixon distracted me? Not really. A little. I'm telling you, I'm out of practice in time pressure because I almost never would like flag in a game like that if I was really playing a lot. But I'm just not that quick, and I hesitate momentarily. I lost on time. So he plays the Tarish, which is interesting. I always like to play against the Tarish, but I still think it's like a reasonable opening. One of my students actually recently wanted to take it up, and I, despite the fact that I like playing against it, I still, find it hard to argue with it not being like a reasonable line, I don't think it's easy to play. I had an interesting game here last 2 weeks ago in this line, which is a side variation that not that many people play. The chance of him playing the exact same line. I have an improvement on a game I lost in the simul, I think. Can't remember who it was against now. It was about a month ago. I had a game in this line in the simul with bishop g4, actually, which is one of the lines. It was like bishop g4, h3, bishop h5. So he's not listening, but he played the same line. Wow, Bloby's here. It might have been a stream where actually Bloby was here. I'm not sure. But it was bishop h5. One of the players, bishop h5, knight f5. No, bishop h5. How did it go? Bishop h5. How does my knight end up on f5 quickly? I don't remember now. There was an amazing move, though. If I got to the same position, I would remember it. Bobola is playing a known line here that's slightly better for white. I had this game against one of the turtles, the Slovenian GM turtles, where I was slightly better. I can't remember all their names now, but I've had this game on a stream, too. It's the same line I've played a couple of times. I have like 2.5 out of 3 from this position with white. There's a bunch of Slovenian GMs who aren't streaming lately, but they were streaming like a year ago. And they were doing like a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle theme. They all have like different names. Donatello, Michelangelo. One of those guys played this line against me. Should be good for white, but not like did I do something wrong? No. I think I've had this game a couple times, basically. Against one of the turtles, against some 2100. And it's even theory. Maybe Leonardo. His name starts with a B, Borashek. With Yuri Borashek, we had this game. I can never remember like what I'm supposed to do exactly in this position. I think I have to take here. So this is all known, and it's a little bit better for white. But Borashek drew. I also had the game with Gabor Kallai. That's it. So I have a win and 2 draws. A win against the 2100 and 2 draws against GMs with white in this position. Kali made a mistake, actually, and I didn't exploit it. Now I can't remember. I looked it up last time we played this. Am I supposed to play like rook a d1? Maybe rook a d1. And what's the best here? F d1, bishop c3, rook b1. Then something like e5. It's kind of complicated. I mean, it can be a long-term pawn sack. Let's try this. I think you could take either way. He's not even thinking about it. So rook c1 or rook b1? Rook c1. Bishop f6 takes c6. I mean, that's probably something like my game with Borashek. It's possible to play rook b1. I'm afraid this is going to peter out to a draw, like those other games. I mean, I could be slightly better here if he's saddled with this isolated pawn. He doesn't have. Yeah, we could be just a tiny bit better in an ending. Critical move. e5, bishop takes h6. G takes h6, rook takes c3. e5 is possible, but again, he has to evaluate. Bishop takes h6 probably. Bishop takes h6, bishop d4, bishop e3, and white is slightly better. Slightly better. It's an interesting endgame. Oh, knight d4 was suggested. Chess lover. Here he goes again. Right after the last move. Here he goes again. Another winning move. Suggestion. Wait till after he chooses a move. We gotta put like chess lover on delay or something. Well, don't tell him it's bad either. Get a special delay. Chess lover is only allowed to talk 60 seconds after moves are played. He's taking a long time here. What? Right. So I'm seriously thinking about taking this. Obviously, bishop e3 is like the safe move. I don't really like rook c3, pawn takes f4. I mean, that's a draw if I want, but I mean, this looks like the test. I don't see anything fancy. I didn't really want to have to trade my bishops, but so we get imbalance. But Vinnik would agree white is slightly better. But Vinnik. Bishop plays well on both sides of the board. His king is slightly less safe. It's better for white, but not easy. I mean, this is a nice try. He's basically willing to sacrifice a pawn. Rook takes rook, bishop c. Take, take, take. Check. King up. Check, king up. And then something like rook c5, winning a pawn. Interesting endgame could arise. I don't really have a better suggestion than trying to win this pawn. Not sure about this rook endgame. Pretty weird. It could be a draw. It's a very strange distribution of pawns. Chess Lover said it should be 1-0. Wow. I don't know why. I mean, that's clear. That's not clear to me. I couldn't possibly be sure, honestly. I don't have two connected pass pawns. His pawns are kind of an issue. I have no clue if this is a win or not. I don't even know what to play. Mr. Coffee is like gonna play the fence. He's on the fence. I think. Don't hedge your bets, Mr. Coffee. He thinks it's better for white. Yeah. I just don't have enough time to play it properly. Looks like a draw, honestly. I'm not convinced this is ever a win. But it's still... It's got to be a draw now. I already lost one game on time. Is there any way this is a win? Because of the space advantage? Now he's gonna check me forever. It looks like it has to be a draw. I'm not going to torture my opponent forever here. I mean, if I think it's a draw, but it's normal to play a couple more moves. I don't think there's a way to win, you know? Even like g6 check is probably a draw. I mean, you know, you can make these claims that this endgame is a win, but I'm not really sure about that. I think it's very likely that this is a draw, despite the viewers wildly claiming that this is a win for white. I don't have... His a-pawn is a huge asset, and I don't really have a great pass pawn. You didn't see rook c5, right? It doesn't matter. I think it's a draw, man. I mean, I really do. I think the whole endgame is a draw anyway. Truthfully. I mean, I don't know if I made a serious mistake. Best move h4 according to the engine. Engines are not, you know, I don't think I had better than this, honestly. Maybe here, h5 is a mistake. Okay, so I should play g4. Keep the pawns together. All right, this is my only chance. G4. If rook G1, I just play like king F3. I would think even rook G1 would be a move. There's a move that I didn't see, king F5. So you have to play A2. Now G5. It's a very tight little variation here. Rook A2 or G6 check king E7. It's all a draw. Now, I don't think any wild claims that this position was a win for white would be justified. So the opening theory is interesting too. This has all been played. Not even clear which rook I should recapture with. And also rook B1 is possible here. As I mentioned during the game, like, it's not a bad move either. White won all 3 games from this position. 4. Tracek, Om's Police, Sasha Kiran. But, so E5, this was played. Exact same game. Tracek with the white bits, bishop D4, bishop E3. So, Tracek's opponent was a 2200 and he played knight D4. That was the move. Was that suggested by anyone? This allows king F1 or bishop F1. So that's like a bad move. Basically, Bubula played the only move that makes sense. And now bishop E3. I looked at bishop D5 check, but I didn't see how that benefits me. Chess Lover, you suggested it later. So I mean, this is following this game from 2004. Exactly. Not clear if you should take or not. Bishop E3, FE3. I'm better here. But now, you know, Botvinnik or Aronian might be able to win this position, but they're not going to win it by playing it the way that I did, by grabbing the pawn. The engine says the best move is rook D5. I mean, okay, so grabbing the pawn is, I thought about just something like this, honestly. Bishop E4. It's a tough position. White's better with this outside pawn over here. So if I had more time, I think we would have good chances to win this game. Dude, check out the what? Check out the... Is that the right analysis? Sparkle Horse, 2 inaccuracies, 9 cent pawn loss. Bubula, no inaccuracies, no mistakes. There's 9 cent pawn loss. Alright, anyway. Good game. Thank you for the game. It's a little too drawish, you know, this variation. That's what happened against Kalai Gabor and my game against Borashek too. So I just didn't get enough. Against the 2100 also came very, very close to drawing me in the tournament in the US, but he just couldn't quite hold a slightly worse endgame. I mean, that's the difference between Grandmasters and IMs and GMs. Merle Dixon, thanks for the 110. Thanks for playing Bubula. So, we're going to go back and take these last challenges and finish out the stream. 3 quick games. Pi the Arsenal fan and Meister. I mean, that variation, the problem with it is it does allow a lot of simplification. So, I made 2 inaccuracies. C4, a real test. No London system. That's good. Uh-oh. I have to play the King's Indian. I don't play the King's Indian a lot lately. I feel like I'm out of practice with this opening. You'll sleep better after such a game. Nice center pawn loss. But, I mean, you know, it's all known up until, like, bishop takes h6, I guess. It's not supposed to be the best line for him, though. I would take that in a tournament game and try to grind him down without winning the pawn. Not trading my bishop for his knight to win the pawn. I mean, that's the key. Sure, you might win that rook endgame if black doesn't defend perfectly. But I think if I had to do it, yeah, take care. If I had to do it over again in a tournament game, I would play another move. I wouldn't win the pawn. So d5, classic Petrosian variation, Petrosian system. I've played this a lot. Knight g4, bishop c5, dc5, h3. Does that seem right? I can also play b6. b6 is like the solid move. But after b6, knight d2. What's my plan? I'm not really sure about the theory here. He doesn't want that. Interesting. There's also queen e8 is no good now because of knight b5 type ideas. We can't play queen e8. My knight is going to get kicked out. I lost a game like this against Adrian Casillas many, many years ago. Boylston Chess Club Championship, like 1992. My knight got rejected back to b7. It was slightly different, though. It was slightly different. We need to play f5 quickly. Queen d7 and f5. It's a weird idea here. You play the King's Indian, but I only enjoy the c5 lines. c5 as in like Benoni style King's Indian, or c5 as in like e5 and c5 Bradley Bloom? Again, thanks to Jim, Dragon BC, Merle Dixon. Guys, we do a simul on Sundays. So there's no stream on Saturday, but I will be back on Sunday. Same time, 5:30 p.m. There's like a storm or something. I didn't know it was supposed to rain. Simul, 5:30 p.m. on Sunday. I had a game with Walter Brown once. This structure came up. Blitz game with Walter. It was like vibrating. Walter Brown would like shake the table and look like he was like hyperventilating when he was playing even normal games, let alone Blitz. It was one of the most intense people I ever played. You just feel like the energy like bouncing off of him while you're trying to play. It was kind of disconcerting. You assume this is, don't assume anything. The first rule of chess club. First rule of drinking club. Don't assume anything. I'm definitely not making that assumption here. I don't know about f3 is sort of surprising though. Feels like f3 goes against what he was trying to do somehow. Bishop h6. Make your bishops great again. He's trying to bring his bishop back to f2. Yes, Ricard. Bishop f6. The idea of bishop d8, bishop b6. He wants to play with knights against bishops. All right, I mean, bishop h6 isn't a bad move. Bishop f6 I considered. Yeah, but he's just going to play bishop f2. I guess, you know. And then he's going to consider giving it up. We noticed your game, Arsenal. You know, you like bishops. We watched that from the white side of the Benoni, where you always have those bishops on g7 and d4, and it's kind of like this, right? Not that different, you know. King's Indian, Benoni. I almost never deploy the queen to d7 and the king's Indian. This is a very unusual development. This weakens my queen side. Now I'm going to can sit a knight on b5 for the rest of my life. 2 bishops versus 2 knights after bishop takes c5. I'm not sure he should give that up, but it's an option. It's an option. Okay, knight b5 as mentioned. Tactics. Maybe I should take here. Takes with a knight, and then what? Rook f3. Rook f4. The classic Petrosian exchange sacrifice. Alright, I guess I only have equality. Equality. We have to give our bishop for that knight. Ugh. I don't like this. The bishop is just good enough to equal that knight. And I guess we're about equal. a4. It's a bad bishop that could. A queen g4 is a good idea, but I can't hang this. Well, I shouldn't. We're going to start taking suggestions from the peanut gallery now. I'm getting desperate. I'm not going to scold Arsenal fan for suggesting moves. Bishop c5, bc5. There are endgames where I could be worse. If everything's fixed, I just have that bad bishop. Man, this bad bishop is vital to my survival as a species. Maybe a4. Get aggressive here. Is he going to play knight d2 now? I don't know. He could have played a4 himself at some point. Again, we're in time pressure. I feel like I'm playing Negro Modelo. Guys, we have enough time left, hopefully, for these last couple of games. Where do we go? h5? Queen is kind of limited there. Really limited there. Now he's like forcing an endgame. Like that. Screw that. Let's target the b5 pawn. Glad I played a4 now. I didn't like queen h5 because he was going to play like knight d2, ironically. I guess it didn't work. Queen takes queen, rook takes queen, bishop takes, and he drops. What if I play queen h5 and he played bishop c5, bc5, knight d2? It's not so easy. I mean, it's possible, but I don't really like putting my queen in h5 without a lot of time to calculate the consequences. This looks like a pretty straightforward target. I also have rook f4, maybe. So rook a5. Okay. Primitive and effective. Artificial isolation of pawn. I think I thought Pade was Negro Modelo at some point. Different style. What do we do now? He dropped a piece. That's good. What do? We win a piece. There is a slight problem. No weaknesses. All right. 2 last games, guys. Thank you for the games. Arsenal fan, and Meister. Again, thanks to Mr. Coffee for being our mod. Guys, please donate, support the stream. I should play knight c3. Did I play that in a correspondence game recently? I said to Arsenal fan that I think he should sort of... I don't think the French necessarily is right for him. But, you know, play what you want. Don't listen to me. I'm just a random guy on the internet. Take everything I say with a grain of salt. The most important thing is that you have to be comfortable with what you play. Mamedyarov would play g5. The theoretical Arsenal fan. But here you're allowing d4? Really? Is this a tempo loss? d4, take, bishop e4 check, bishop d2, knight e4. How does that work? It's not a problem, right? I want to check that after the game. I can't play d4 there, right? Doesn't seem right. I don't really play the Joko piano with white, so... But now it has to be good. I just played d3 so I can play d4 later. e5, d5 might be okay for black. Now Arsenal could be in trouble. It's like if e5, d5, pawn takes f6, pawn takes c4, pawn takes g7, or d5 first. That's like what Morphy would do. Just ask yourself what Morphy would do. What Morphy did do in this position. Now, Morphy probably never played the quiet Joko. But he did play positions like this. Did Morphy play the Joko piano? Man, this is terminal for black. Terminalish. Should be. Sunday Simul, 25 players. Thanks everybody for playing. It was nice to have a strong player. International Master Bogola challenged me to a game here, so I don't get accused of playing only 1,000 players. Now, all you guys are good though. Knight g4. The active choice. I mean, I guess I'm supposed to do this, right? Take the 2 pieces to the bank. 2 pieces for the rook and pawn. Probably his best chance, though. It's very possible h3 is a bad move. I mean, like, I have better. You got a Joko piano, pianissimo out of an Alekhine. That's funny. What are we doing? Knight h4. He's getting sort of cagey again with the knight f5 move. It's like he's almost trying to lure me in. I thought there maybe d6. He's trying to lure me into overextending myself. Yes. Should I play e6 and open up the f-file against my own king? Looks like a good idea. Brilliant. This is not easy for both sides. Things could get kind of dangerous. My gut instinct is to develop my pieces. When in doubt, develop the pieces. I have chess base. I have like chess base 10. I don't really use it much. I don't have like the newest chess base. I probably had like 4 versions of chess base. I've bought it like 3 or 4 times in the last 25 years. I don't really like that chess base doesn't let you to like automatically upgrade. They're very archaic in their sort of business, the way they run the business. Use some similar endgames feature for your endgame and got some fantastic results. What did you mean by similar? Queen b6 check is coming. So we walk back to safety. Is that a good place to go? You know what? Maybe not. There, dude. Take my bishop. I dare you. Control the center. I dare you. Take my bishop. Arsenal. Don't they have an online subscription now? Like a web app or something? I don't know. I was kind of angry with ChessBase for a while. It was like the last straw was about a year ago, maybe more now. I don't know. I had the password to like my ChessBase account, essentially. Something of that level, right? And I literally like 10 times sent a message like, can you please reset my password? And it like the link to reset your password like didn't even work. It was ridiculous. Like I emailed them and they never answered. It just seems like it's a fly-by-night operation. Eventually, after like emailing them like 4 times, somebody answered me and allowed me to like reset my password. But it was kind of like, yeah, you guys haven't improved your product in like 20 years. Get with the program. Arsenal's getting active now. All my pieces in his face. So Hierarchs is like, isn't that like an 80s engine? Not 80s, alright, I'm exaggerating. Wasn't Hierarchs like a 90s, like a mid-90s, say? Happy Friday! Booth versus Roussel Rousmon. Also known as Stephen Muhammad. What happened to that guy? Did he just like drop off the face of the earth? Or did he like change his name again? It's really weird. I guess he just stopped playing chess. Actually, Roussel Rousmon probably did too. Alright, knight e3. Where's the mate? Oh my god, why don't we calculate a little bit, kids? Resigns. Knight g6. I missed knight g6, which is even better. Betterest. He saw it was hanging. God damn it, Jerry. I just hung my knight on e7. I thought I was winning like easily. Oh god damn it, Jerry. So if I play knight g6, he has queen c5 now. Knight f8. And then discoveries. The discovery zone. Welcome to the discovery zone. Wait, who saw 97? Not playing great chess here. I just dropped a piece. I thought I had 97. It was just not guarded. Knight g6 was interesting. One beer and I'm done. Oh. Whoa, what's going on? Rain wasn't in the forecast today. Wow. Oh, I thought that wasn't protected either. Nice. So check this out. I missed queen f8 check. Oh, nice game. Arsenal beat me for the third time in recent history. A lot of wins lately. This is a very poorly played game by both of us, though. Lots of mistakes. Certainly lots of mistakes by both sides. But anyway, congratulations. You made less mistakes than me, man. And that's the third time you beat me in the last month or so. So nice job. I have one last game to play with Meister. Yeah, you gotta close the deal. It was a great game. But it was bad. It was bad. But great. Yeah, I'm starting to sound like Donald Trump or something. It was a bad, great game. Big words. Knight f6. Alright. What are we doing here? That was a horrible game. Both our center pawn losses were over 100. You played rook f8. I'm a dead duck lately with the time pressure. I start to panic. I don't see one move tactics like queen takes f8 check. If I was sharp, I would see that. I don't know who this Arsenal guy is. I never met him. Never met him. He's a terrible player. Did I say he was? No, I mean, I just, you know, I never heard of him before. Did I say he was a nice guy? I never met the guy. He plays like 100 cent upon loss. I mean, we made some huge blunders. Arsenal played the worst black side of the Joker piano ever. And I guess we both made all sorts of tactical mistakes. All right, last game for the stream today. Bishop d3 does protect that pawn. It's a highly unusual sort of setup, but what do I do? I mean, I can play e5 and d5 and equalize. e5, bishop e3, d5, pawn takes pawn, knight takes, and then knight takes, queen takes, threatening mate, so f3. But I'm just trading all sorts of pieces. See, the problem is I just trade tons of pieces if I play this variation, and this equalizes. But at the risk of... Okay, we should look at knight g4 for just a moment. But I mean, even like bishop c4 is the most instructive chess games ever played. You can't lose the d5 square. Meister... First game against Meister is supposed to be 1500. Looks like pretty, you know, trustworthy looking ratings. Consistently a little better in longer chess. I like how consistent those ratings are. 1300, 1500, 1600, 1700. Okay, that's good. We don't like to see people who are like 2200 in classical and 1300 in bullet. You know, that doesn't make sense. I'm ashamed of my last game with Arsenal. Against Negro Modelo, I just flagged in an unclear situation. I guess I was winning, actually. But this game, Arsenal confused me with his blunders. Totally confused me with his blunders. Blunderific. This is 1500 now. Keep in mind. My first game against this 1500. Queen f2 looks like a good move there. I have e4. e4. Pawn e4. Appears to just lose a pawn. Maybe not a great idea. This move doesn't look normal. This is a bad move. Probably a bad move. Okay. Although Queen b4, Engine's #1 suggestion, is not that good because of a5. Actually, it probably is good. Queen b4, #1 move. Survey says 24. Queen b4, e4, bishop c4, queen b2. Queen b4, e4, pawn takes pawn, queen takes pawn. Yeah, he found it, the 1400. All right, I've got to do this. We try to take this pawn on b2. But we're left with a better pawn structure. I was a little nervous I'm going to miss something here. Alright, bishop takes b2. a3 is hanging. His only idea is bishop c4, but in that case I can play rook takes d1 and start eating more pawns. So what is he going to do? Like bishop c5? Only move that doesn't drop the a3 pawn. This move, an alternative. Really just a temporary stopgap. Still, how are you going to protect that pawn? Now it's actually worse because you can't play bishop c5 any longer. That was really the only move that protected a3. This also protects this. Alright guys, don't forget, Sunday subscriber stream, Sunday simul stream, 5:30 p.m. Playing 25 players. Alright, now we have a choice of which pawn to win. We'll leave this weak one on a3. Grab this. Force an exchange of pieces, and it should be a technical win. Keep the pressure on maximum at all times. Never release the tension. Apocalypse now. Never get out of the boat. Rook d8. Jim, thank you for the donation. Closing down the stream in just a minute here as this game finishes up. I was concerned, though. It's very possible. I'm like, it's very possible I'm slightly worse after queen b4. Maybe not. e4, bishop c4. I was scared to be some sort of tactic for white here. If there isn't, there isn't. You know, maybe it was all good. Dropped in exchange or sacrificed it. A fancy way of saying dropped. And so, I don't know. We'll keep our pawn. He's got a good king, but he's down on exchange and a pawn. Or she. Might be a lady. But it's called Meister. So if it's a woman, actually, Fuchsia is German. How do you call a woman Meister? Is still a Meister? Oh, so it's Meisterin. So this is Meisterin. Okay. So this might be a lady. Alright. Whoops. Almost did it, but I forgot. I remembered. Push a5. Always play a5. You should bring the king up. Nah, king back is bad. Put the pawns on dark squares. I almost dropped my rook, but I didn't drop my rook because I had seen it before, and I had remembered that I checked and noticed that tactic before. It's like good to make sure you check in advance what the threat is. Keep everything protected. Put it on dark squares. Now there's no more discoveries. Eat another pawn. Kind of mean. Let's just go. A5, that's for Warnacki. Alright, you got it in. We got it in there. Your favorite move. Pre-move. Resigned. All right. Thank you for the game. I just want to take a look before we close the stream about this move queen b4. Was white doing all right here? As I suggested, and without an engine, engineless, I knew that queen b4 was white's best move. Queen b4, e4, and the beat goes on. It's a good game up till here. So apparently white is okay if white conducts the game perfectly from here, from this point. I'm curious if queen a2 was my best move. I was like very unsure about that. That's the #1 move according to Stockfish. Kudos to me for finding queen a2 a brave move. Anyway, guys, we dropped one to Arsenal fan. Take a bow of shame. Wasn't a pretty game, man, but you get the victory. I will be back on Sunday. Have a great Saturday, and I'll see you then. Thanks, everybody, for playing, beating me up. Mr. Coffee, thanks for being our moderator. See you later, guys. Don't forget, Sunday, Simul, 5:30. Bye-bye. You sound like the real Panda. All right. Later, guys. Have a good one. Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.